Gaming is probably one of the biggest industries in the world, but what is actually holding it back? It is the lack of innovation, it is the capitalism, right? People always say, Wolf or Deadlock or League of Legends are so innovative, but let's be honest, a lot of these gaming studios haven't seen innovation in the last 20 years. In fact, they don't even know the origins of MOBA genre. I know to most of you that doesn't even matter. But you have like these gaming studios like Wolf or League of Legends, Riot, one of the biggest companies in the world, and even after 20 years, they still don't know the true origins of MOBA genre, why we love gaming, competitive esports, right? A lot of people still think that the origins of MOBA games is DOTA, aka Conquest, aka Defend of the Asians. But they don't realize that DOTA was actually just one of thousands upon thousands of community-made maps. And this is the true origins of MOBA genre. Thousands upon thousands of community-made maps. It almost seems like nobody really understands the origins of MOBA genre.
MOBAs suck when they're waiting for that.
I must say, I am quite impressed with Deadlock. If you compare it to other MOBAs, the game has really good characters, it has a good social system, pretty good action combat. We don't really have a ranked scene yet, and I think one of the biggest issue with WoW was always the lack of innovation, because they get so much money from Steam, they don't really need to innovate when it comes to, for example, Dota 2. That's why we only have like one map in Dota 2, or why they removed Aram, Twisted Tree Line from League of Legends, because they have this old, outdated MOBA mentality that only Conquest, aka Dota, aka Defend of the Asians is competitive. They don't really understand the true origins of MOBA genre, of one of the biggest genre of games and industry out there. The true origins of MOBA genre are countless of community-made maps, fight of characters on different community-made maps, and Dota was just one of them. You can check the games like Dota 2, you can check League of Legends, Smite. They all have the same issues when it comes to MOBA industry, right? One of the most divided communities out there, right? They don't even understand the origins of MOBA genre. They still think that Dota, aka Conquest, aka Defend of the Asians, is the origins of MOBA genre, but in reality it is a countless of community-made maps. Multiplayer online battle arena, fight of characters on different community-made maps. That's the true origins of MOBA genre, and it seems like 90% of people don't know that. A lot of 90% of the companies don't make that, and this is literally why MOBA is probably one of the biggest open niche on the market, because most MOBA studios are totally outdated. And that's a fact. They ignore 50 to 70% of their player base because they think that only Dota, aka Conquest, game mode is competitive, and they simply ignore everybody else. That's probably why Smite, one of the best games out there, has been literally dying now for years. That's why esports totally sucks. Not only we have no real rankings or tournaments, they literally handpick all their players and teams, so it's meaningless. But they always ignore 50 to 70% of their player base. For example, in Smite, let's check high-res game. We have Smite, we have Paladins, we have Rogue Company, right? And and just look how divided those communities are. Not only when it comes to game modes and regions, but also when it comes to tournament scene. For example, in Smite, we only have ranked leaderboard and rewards for Conquest. Nothing for arena players or anybody else, only for Conquest aka Dota. And if you are a fan of, let's say, Joust, Arena, some of the most popular game modes people have been loving for years, we don't even have basic rank functionality or rewards for it, no tournaments, no real rankings. It's pointless. Esports become pointless because of capitalism. MOBA genre is totally, it's just DOTA, right? And you know, people, let's check some comments, okay? I don't wanna get too off, but you know, people always say, you know, Ice Frog, Wolf are so innovative. But these guys haven't seen innovation in years. They still, I mean, Wolf literally made Dota 2. And they still think that the origins of MOBA genre is Dota. They don't really understand the true origins of MOBA genre, which are countless of community-made maps. Not some mere Dota, a Defense of the Asians, 20-year-old map that was never even made for esports in the first place, right? It's just, I don't know how to express myself, but it's just so divided. Hello guys and welcome. I just wanna quickly add this to the video about Deadlock. You know, I must say I am quite impressed with Deadlock. If we compare it to other MOBAs, you know, the game has really good characters, it has a good social system, pretty good action combat. We don't really have a ranked scene yet, you know, and I think one of the biggest issue with Valve was always the lack of innovation, because you know they get so much money from Steam, they don't really need to innovate when it comes to, for example, Dota 2. That's why we only have like one map in Dota 2, or why they removed Aram, Twisted Tree Line from League of Legends, because they have this old outdated MOBA mentality that only Conquest, aka Dota, aka Defense of the Asians is competitive. They don't really understand the true origins of MOBA genre, of one of the biggest genre of games and industry out there. The true origins of MOBA genre are countless of community-made maps, fight of characters on different community-made maps, and Dota was just one of them. Now the big issue here is that a lot of MOBA studios currently, they simply ignore everybody else. They only focus on Conquest Dota and ignore everybody else. That's why we have been literally begging to bring back rank leaderboard and rewards for arena, or to have updated arena map, but we have been simply ignored. They ignore so much potential because they don't really understand why we love games and how to actually naturally get sponsorship and viewership via actual online tournaments, rankings, rank functionalities, EU versus North America competitive spirit and so on. If you do things right, people will make their own content, you know? Hello guys and welcome. You know, I just had to add this into a video. After a few days of playing Deadlock, I must say I am quite impressed. And there has been quite a bit of innovation here. The characters feels good. Every character has, you know, the really cool ultimate looking abilities. We don't need to walk to lanes anymore, right? Like we did back in Dota All-Star days in Warcraft 3, right? You see, in my opinion, Dota was never really made for esports, you know, because the true, you know, the difficulty of Dota came out of snowballing and convoluted item building. And to know how to build items, you simply had to have experience. Back in the days, 10-20 years ago, when we were playing custom games on Warcraft 3, not everybody had experience, you know. And if you don't really find a balance of snowballiness and counter building and coming back, it's really hard to find the correct balance, right? And you know, I haven't tried all the characters, but it seems like every character is, you know, I don't really feel certain characters, you know, but yeah, I must say I'm quite impressed with Deadlock. I'm gonna play it more, and there has been quite a few of innovation here. Like you don't need to walk to lanes anymore. Third dimensional combat. right? Pretty good, you know, but I'm afraid it's Valve. They're not really known to be the most innovative studio out there, right? Because they don't need to innovate because they get a lot of money from Steam, you know. And that's why sports has been dying now for years. It's capitalism, it's we have no real rankings or tournaments what every competitive player wishes to have. They handpick their teams, right? No wonder the esport is dying, you know. You just have to organize real online tournaments with some rewards, have ranked leaderboard and rewards for most popular game modes, you know. Divided community is one of the biggest reasons why Smite is not doing well. They ignore, you know, arena players, EU players, international players, even console players, which is 50 to 70% of their player base. You know, and then they expect good results. And they do it in every for example, every high-risk game, which is like a MOBA gaming studio, they have Arena versus Conquest in Smite, they have Strikeout versus Domination in Paladins, and they have Deathmatch versus Siege in Paladins. Conquest versus Arena in Smite, Strikeout versus Domination in Rogue Company, and Deathmatch versus Siege in Paladins. You see, it's always the same story. They always ignore 50% of their player base. When it just comes to game modes alone, let alone regions, tournaments, you know, what every competitive. That's why Smite 10 years ago was so huge. We actually have online tournaments, and even then we have finals in Atlanta. We have ranked leaderboard and rewards for 2-3 most popular game modes, and you're not really. Your goal shouldn't be to attract more players to Conquest, Dota. Your goal should be to attract more players to the game, right? And I have been playing Smite for more than 10 years, and I have a lot of MOBA experience and such. So, what most of you don't really get is how divided a lot of these communities are. For example, in Smite, if you went to Smite Reddit, and if you're talking about ranked mode for other players besides Conquest Dota, you were literally getting IP banned. That's how divided these communities are. They ignore 50 to 70% of their player base, and then they expect good results. Somebody, you know, it's like, it's insanity. And then we also have problem with esports, that there is no real tournaments, no real rankings for the community, no real opportunities. They literally handpick their players, and they even pay them massive salaries, so they gatekeep everybody else. And that's a huge issue, because as a small content creator, you basically have no chance on social media, because you're fighting against all these bots and all these content creators who probably use bots and promotional accounts. And, you know, Dota is a 20-year-old game mode. Why are we still acting like it's the only thing that is in competitive? Why are we still ignoring so much of potential, so much of your older player base? It's a literally 20-year-old game mode. It has its own issues, like snowballing. You have to always pick meta starters or you fall behind, and then it doesn't even matter how you play or what you build, right? The whole map is not even good for esports, because nobody really want to watch just, you know, snowballing and 20 minutes of farming, and then you have these guys who have a level advantage, and then they think they are good at this game, but they're just getting carried by numbers. Nobody really knows how to build. They just build 6 damage items most of their games, or they build overpowered meta items. There is no new content. All they do is make new skins. In fact, they also remove game modes, you know. And when you talk about things like that, you know, I'm literally, even today, I'm still IP banned on Reddit. I cannot even make Reddit account. Why? Because I was talking about Arena ranked on Smite Reddit, and those mods just IP banned me. And even 7 years after, I cannot even use Reddit anymore, no matter where. Every competitive player wishes to have basic rank leaderboard and rewards. But in a lot of these MOBA games, we only have ranked leaderboard and rewards for specific map, right? In Conquest, in Smite, we only have ranked leaderboard and rewards for Conquest. They have been ignoring EU players, they have been ignoring international console players for years. Literally why one of the best games on the market has died. Smite. And it's same with League of Legends, with Dota 2. They have no real rankings, no real tournaments. They ignore 50 to 70% of their player base because after 20 years, they still think the origins of MOBA genre is Dota, which never was. Dota, aka Conquest, aka Defense of the Asians, was actually just one upon thousands of community-made maps. That's the true origins of MOBA. And that's why if you just make arena style game with ranked leaderboard, rewards, social elements, good action combat, you can literally be most popular game on the MOBA market right now. Because most MOBA studios are totally outdated. Most of these gaming studios who are led by these capitalism guys, they have no idea what are they doing. And that's a fact. But it's kind of disappointing because I have been always loving Smite so much. For me, I have been playing Smite for 10, 12 years. It was my favorite game ever created. And when you see how much shit is going on in these communities, bans, censorship, divided community on every corner, literally ignoring passionate players who loved your game for years. That's the state of MOBA gaming. And people always praise guys like Wolf, Ice Frog. In my opinion, this is the guys who actually destroyed everything. Yeah. I mean, not everything, but the whole gaming and the MOBA scene. Something we were always so passionate about. And maybe if you guys didn't realize it yet, but capitalism is slowly destroying everything we are passionate about. Social media, content creation, gaming, sports, esports. Who even still watches sports or esports anymore? There is no reason. Why? Because they have no real rankings, no real tournaments, no real competitive scenes. And social media is mostly bots these days. Alright? Maybe I'm just still pissed off because of Smite Reddit, right? I always just wanted to be a part of the community of Smite, just talking about game, enjoy it. But my experiences on a lot of these platforms are just really horrible. Because you have one or two moderators who are supposed to bring the community together, but they do everything in their power to divide it. And we can always blame players, but at the end of the day, it's how the companies design these games. 7 years ago, this is what Hi-Rez or Titanforge did. They removed content from the game and divided the community on every corner. We used to have ranked leaderboard and rewards for arena. Today, we have 7-year-old map, no leaderboard, no rewards, even after 7 years of literally begging them to add back into the game. Some of these games and communities could be one of the biggest out there, but they just become disappointment, And it's sad because Smite, for example, I was playing Smite for more than 10 years. It was literally my favorite game ever created. I just, people praising Dota, people praising Wolf, when they're one of the reasons why the community in gaming is so divided and so sad, Because companies like Wolf, they don't need to innovate, because they're getting paid to promote other games on Steam. That's why their games haven't seen innovation in 20 years. And let's go back. Let's go 20 years back, when Dota, aka Defense of the Asians, was created. People don't realize that multiplayer online battle arena genre of games was created 10 years ago by the community. All these community-made maps is literally why CSGO got popular. Ice Frog made Dota. And those game modes were never really made for esports. Why? Snowballiness. convoluted item buying. These were where the hard part comes, because you literally had to have experience to play Dota, because you had to learn all these recipes and such, right? And you know, as a small content creator, you know what is really disappointing? When you realize you literally have no chance anymore. It's pointless to make content anymore. I'm not sure. You know, YouTube was about passion, creativity, low. Now it's just about manipulation, adding frequencies in the background to attract viewers, using promotional accounts and bots to manipulate thousands of people and algorithm. That's the reality of content creation today. When you turn things you're passionate about into capitalism, right? And capitalism will eventually destroy itself, because it's a system based on illusion. How long can we keep up the illusion? And then, you know, if you're a small content creator or somebody who, you know, that's why we love YouTube, because we wanna, you know, express ourselves, make something for the future. But when you realize you literally have no chance, because 70% of this platform are bots and fake manipulative promotional accounts and guys who manipulate algorithm and their viewers on a daily basis to make money out of them, adding frequencies in the background to attract viewers. And if you're not doing any of those, if you're not manipulating algorithm or your viewers, you basically have no chance anymore.
The deadlock laning phase is really easy. Just get more souls than your enemy and you'll easily win. But that's
You know, that's so funny. Like, people talking like Deadlock is something new, something innovative, when concept of Dota is literally 20 years old. Who doesn't know how to clear minions, push waves? That's literally all we have been doing for last 10 years, because only Conquest Dota game modes had competitive scene, because all these MOBA studios totally ignore everybody else. Right? Like, you know, people always say Wolf or Deadlock is innovative, when in reality they haven't seen innovation in 20 years. They can't even make something else than Dota. They are multi-billion-dollar company, and they don't even understand the origins of its own genre. How insane is that? And if you go to Dota 2, League of Legends, it's all the same story. And do you think at least they have some real esports? No! They handpick all their teams and players for every tournament. Wow. Do you guys know how insane that was in Smite? When you literally had no chance as a competitive player if you were not from North America and if you were not playing Conquest. Gaming is one of the most divided communities out there, because they're usually being led by these clueless capitalism companies who don't really make any new content or innovation. They just sell skins, and they don't even understand their own genre, the origins of their own genre. How insane is that?
Combined with superior stamina is creating some.
I
Now we
just
all,
wanna quickly add this to the video about Deadlock.
Oh, I'm coming, buddy.
And I have been playing Smite for more than 10 years, so I have a lot of MOBA experience.
And now we all,
You know, people always
Dylan's getting caught.
Oh, I'm coming, buddy.
Throw me in.
Yeah, we're in here. We're in this bitch.
The new wall jump combined with
mega chud.
It's chasing me.
whatever they're paying this Ivy, they're not paying him enough.
Right?
Wow, this guy's chasing me.
Whatever they're paying this Ivy, they're not paying him enough.
Oh my god, this Ivy's a fucking god. Okay, how OP is Rescue Beam, by the way?
From America, from Canada, right? This platform full of
Haze,
censorship,
have you ever
full of
went outside and felt the
full
glow of the sun on your
divided
face?
community.
The smell of the
Bots.
wind? And the touch
They
of
can-
grass?
They can literally
Pocket!
Right.
Pocket TP right side behind us.
I don't think we chased the door, let's end.
No, let's go orange. Come orange. Bro, what?
I have phantom check. I have phantom check. I have phantom check.
Just so
He's killing me. Oh, the save.
something and then you have to deal with this
Oh
issue.
my god. You're not dying.
And you think these
Go
companies
Vegas,
ever
let's fucking go
change?
Vegas, let's
No,
fucking
you
go.
just
I'm gonna go fix
use
the shit.
emotion
I'm except for the
social
divine barrier
media
in lane.
to manipulate dragons. How many years can people talking
Superior
about
Stun,
the
Majestic
sake
Leap,
of
and Warp Stone help with the
and it was
movement.
ever-
Fuck, man.
Work.
Stand up strikes.
Like today it's all about capitalism,
Good shit, good
it's
shit.
all about manipulation, bots.
Oh my good
And they
fucking
don't care.
grace.
These capitalism guys, they don't care.
Yeah, he's chasing you, see?
What do you mean chasing? Oh!
I am loving the creative use of
You can literally get banned.
On my way, guys.
Never on top of that. Like,
Coming
and then
Infernos.
people say that I can play about it, that I can never slowly
Slow, but I'm coming.
Don't worry, I'm good.
Oh, you are kidding that. Disappointing, man. And as somebody who loves gaming and content creation and esports and just seeing everything becoming so meaningless and pointless is just, you know, I don't know what to say really. And what is very interesting is that every game high-res made has this problem. Is not just Dota, it's thousands upon thousands of community-made maps from Warcraft 3 era, you know. But what do you expect, you know? League of Legends and Dota 2, they made the whole franchise out of copying Warcraft 3 custom maps, which were made by the community from some random guy, you know. So I don't really expect them to have any game high-res made has this problem. Divided community. We have Arena versus Conquest in Smite. We have Strikeout versus Domination in Rogue Company. We have Deathmatch versus Siege in Paladins. You see, they always have this divided community where they only give rank leaderboard and rewards to 50% of their player base. And then they expect good results. And this is all Valve fault. All this... Oh yeah, Dota is the origins of MOBA genre, multiplayer online battle arena. It even has arena in the name. So yeah, let's ignore everybody. Let's ignore 50 to 70% of our player base and expect good results. That has been the mentality of Valve Dota for last 20 years. Hey guys, I just want to quickly add this into the video. What I just recently
It's so
learned
bright
is
though. Look
if
at
you
that. What is
destroy
that?
enemy base
How do you get rid of that?
diagram,
That's terrible.
all the
What is this?
minions give only 50% of the souls of the experience for the rest of the game. The speed pushing this throw so strong. But at the same time, it's after all, it's a Dota, it's snowballing, it has the same issues. Even though, no matter how much they develop Conquest Dota after defending the nations, it will still have the same old problems. Snowballing, hard to come back, non-existent esports, hand-picked pro players, so nobody takes it seriously, no competitive spirit anymore. So you get no standards and no leadership, right? I mean, I would say Deadlock is pretty good game, but let's not pretend that the war is innovative, right? They still actually think that after 20 years the origins of MOBA is Dota, which never was really the case, right? This is all they do in 20 years, this is all they do. In Dota 2, they only had one map, they didn't even have the balls to make more than one map. They made one map and then they just make skins for it, a new champion every week, and that's all the content they do in years. What? Tell me another gaming studio that would just basically be allowed to do this and still be in business. No. Right, and now it's even harder because we are competing against countless of bots. We are competing against capitalism society where it's like all this. You have 10-15% of the guys on the top who manipulate algorithm and their viewers for years now, and so that nobody else has a chance on these platforms anymore. But let's go back to the point, right? Snowballing. Why do we have, you know? In my opinion, snowballing was always a stupid mechanic. It's basically a mechanic for children, so they can feel good when they have number advantage and they beat their opponents, right? But I got to this point, you know, that's why I deserve it, that's why I'm a better player. No, Conquest Dota is designed in such a way that one team is always gonna be ahead and one is always gonna be behind. That's how this game mode is designed. And let's not pretend 20-year-old Dota was made for esports. Dota was never made for esports in the first place. You know how many thousands upon thousands of community-made maps are arguably more competitive when it comes to game design. More fun, right? So let's not pretend Valve is innovative. In fact, Valve is the reason why the whole gaming scene is probably so dead and why most MOBA studios are totally outdated and they only cater to 50% of their player base. You know. But man, I hate, you know, I think in my opinion it's really hard to find the correct balance when it comes to snowballing and counter building and ability to come back, right? I think Deadlock is a pretty good spot, but there's some information you better not know. I didn't even know about that. That if you destroy a certain building, then the enemy will get 52% less souls. And this game is literally designed around souls character building and character improvement. So it's a huge issue, right? But it could be also seen as a huge opportunity for players to come back, because then you can always split push and apply more pressure. This is how I win many games, and I found that really fun. I'm not really the most, you know, in my opinion, PvP requires a lot of effort, and sometimes I just want to chill and push the wave, apply pressure my way, you know. Sometimes I don't even like go middle or where the team fight is. I just push my lane because it's actually so good. I kind of like it because, you know. But at the same time, I also feel like there is too many snowball mechanics in this game. And I think, in my opinion, the most fun is when you actually have ability to come back. That's literally the reason why arena-style maps were literally so popular. Because there is always a way to come back and there is less snowballing. And you don't need to farm NPCs for 20 minutes to have a fun fight and so on and so on. And then even when you do, you will always have one team that is three levels ahead or behind. And it's not fun. Real competitive players wanna have even playing field where all that matters is how you build and how you play, not some bullshit number advantage. That's why we have been literally asking for the last 5-7 years, begging Smite to add ranked leaderboard rewards and updated map for Arena. It could be easily the most popular MOBA out there if they wouldn't have this outdated MOBA mentality, if they won't ignore players, if they won't have bad community management and so on and so on. Also, people have no idea how impossible it is today to make a new product and promote it, because you're competing against countless of bots and countless of guys who manipulate algorithm with thousands of accounts on a daily basis. I wonder when YouTube will start talking about how 90% of their content creators literally has no chance on their platform, or why 70% of their platform are promotional accounts and bots at this point, and why are they never addressing this? Or why are they putting guy like Mr. Beast on trending when 90% of their comments and activities are bots and self-promotion guys? So like insanity. This is clearly insanity. But as the capitalism, this is why capitalism will eventually destroy itself, because it's based on illusion. How long can you keep up the illusion? It's only 15% of the guys on the top will make anything out of it. So when the other wake up, and they always do, realize what's going on, we realize they were just wasting our talent, wasting our time, effort, and we get nothing out of it. The system will destroy itself. Esports, same thing. No real tournaments, no real rankings, whatever competitive wanna see in sports and esports, why we watch sports in the first place. Nothing like that. And then they talk about why esports is dying and why, you know, content creation is dying and social media and so on. So it's insanity, really. And nobody's talking about it, right?